For those who are trying to be more disciplined as you, right? What suggestions would you give back to them?
It's going to be hard, like, that's for sure. Especially, like, I've been trying to quit nicotine for, like, the longest. And that's been the biggest thing, that's been hard for me. It's just like, it's going to be hard, you know what I mean? But you can do it. And what it comes from is just, like, changing your habits. That's really what I had to figure out. Was like, yeah, I'm still going to have these thoughts. You know what I mean? These thoughts, they're not going away. But there is something that I can do to, instead of, just feeding into these cravings or just giving in into what I want to do. But, it may not be the best for me. So I definitely say that. Just create different habits for yourself and just know that that moment isn't going to last forever.
Okay, guys, welcome to QFM Podcast. You got your man Gift here, and we got
Kenny J. What's good?
Thank you guys for tuning in, and we got our special guest coming back. Introduce yourself, man.
Yes, it is Jayvian Hicks, formerly known as JHicks.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Why do we switch it up?
I don't know. I was just thinking. I was like, you know what? My name is Jayvian.
Okay.
So let's just go by that. But nah, I think there's power in like your name. Honestly,
Okay.
you know what I mean.
To Giveon, Giveon.
I wish I could sing.
Okay.
But no. Unfortunately.
It's interesting. Like some people, like when people go to do a performance or like artists and switch over to their name, they want to like have something simple when they're first starting out. So I think it's kind of interesting when you like flip the script and say like, hey, yeah, my name's Jayvian. Like this is who I am. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
Heck yeah. And there's like a study too with behind it. So it's like for one syllable names, they typically do the best.
Yeah.
So like Drake, Yeet.
Yeah.
Very simple, easy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like they typically blow up, and then the more syllables is obviously there's a decline.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, but it's interesting though. I just because like the marketability
Right,
of it,
right.
You could just say Drake or you
Right.
could just say Yeet.
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't have to be like Jayvion or
I
something
think it's
like
kind
that.
of like the same thing too with the Weeknd because he's switching back to his actual name Abel.
Okay.
So
Right.
yeah.
That's tough. I didn't know about that.
Yeah. So do you think that why do you think you switched from JHicks to Jayvian? Why do you think that was good for you?
I think it just resonated with me more.
Right.
Like in my point in life and like what I'm trying to do right now and just like stay more grounded.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that kind of just it all plays in the same part.
Right.
So and that's just like the same thing that Childish Gambino did.
Mm-hmm.
He switched over to Donald Glover because he's not like into the music space anymore. He's switching over to like acting, directing, producing now. So do you think that's kind of like the same thing for you? Like you're in a different chapter in your life?
Yeah, and I think that's a good way of putting it too, because I really didn't know that about Donald Glover at first, but that makes so much sense because he does do so much. It's like he himself is the entity.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? I feel
Right.
like I can relate to that.
I think also to kind of think about a little bit more, like when they have certain like nicknames, you're more of a product than your actual, like you being actually yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So when you switch it up, you're no longer part of that product anymore. You're more of the maker of that product, but you're not essentially the product.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's what it sounds like to me. I mean, I kind of resonate with it because like we all have jobs to where, I'm like, no, like I keep saying gifted. They say gifting or gifted. I'm like, no, it just doesn't make sense. So I just say, you know what, gift. That's it. Just say gift. Oh, okay, and it's easier to get instead of just whatever. So some people, I think also people are intimidated by that. I think just intimidated by those long names so where it's either hard to pronounce or never understanding why you have it.
Yeah.
So.
And I think especially with that too, is like kind of like overcoming that and just being like, yeah, no, I'm going to demand my respect.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
absolutely.
To an extent,
Yeah.
it's like, this is my name.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to call you Joe Smo and you prefer to be called Bailey.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
Right. I don't like that either. Like, if you have a name, I'm going to figure out a way to pronounce it. I'm not going to go and try to make it easier for me or no. You're going to, that's my name. That's my birth certificate. That's what it says.
Yeah.
So you better know my name, period.
Exactly.
And that's for anybody, you know? So now, we're getting past the names. And do you know any names of any Raleigh, North Carolina rappers? You're into that realm. So tell me about, do you know when that started?
What do you mean, like when that's like the scene?
Yeah.
Or like,
because it's a very overlooked scene. Very. To me.
it is overlooked. I mean, I'll probably, that's the thing. So like Raleigh's always been kind of like undercover.
Right.
You know what I mean? So there's always been people here like pushing. But I mean, honestly, I'll probably say within the last like 5 to 10 years, there's really been like an uptick.
Yeah.
And like people just, you know, really making some fire ass music.
Right.
I think what you're seeing more so now in like the last couple years is like more people are starting to come together.
Right. Right.
Like I just saw in Durham, there's a huge content house now, like studio,
Oh, really?
mic drop, for like videos, events, all that kind of stuff. So I'm like,
I didn't even know that. Wow.
right? But it's about time.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we're finally starting to get stuff like that. But yeah, as far as like Raleigh rappers, I mean, a couple come to my mind. I mean, these are people I work with too, like Exotic, XO.
Oh yeah, Exotic Mage, right? Is that his name? Is he
Nah, this is he's a YN.
Okay.
But,
Okay.
that's my boy though. That's my homeboy. But yeah, you know, like Kurt, obviously, you know Kurt, my boy Jake Guapo, MDE Tay, 919 Kai, OG Senpai. Like there's a lot
of different ones.
And like we're all kind of coming up together at the
Right.
same time. You know what I mean? So it's good to see.
Nice.
Go ahead. What was you about to say?
No, I was about to say, did you hear about that recent news from 83 Babies, YBT?
No.
Yeah, so he's like a rapper from Durham, and he was signed to Reach the Kid. Yeah, he got shot. Yeah, not too long ago. Yeah, it was unfortunate, but yeah, I didn't know if you knew about that.
Nah, I didn't know he got shot because I knew like originally why they kind of took the deal away was because they were, you know, doing some nefarious activities. I'm pretty sure actually somebody got shot from it. And then Rich the Kid was like, nah. But I didn't know a dude died, though. That's sad.
This was like recent, though. I think it was maybe a couple days. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's super recent.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Out in Durham?
Yeah, he was out in Durham. The other guy, I think it was Set It Off. I knew him because he was my barber that I used to go to in Greensboro, he used to cut his hair over there, and like, yeah, he featured him and whatnot. I didn't know YBT though, but yeah, that was kind of unfortunate.
That is crazy. That's a small world though.
You know what's crazy? A lot of rappers usually die in their hometown.
That is facts.
That's the craziest part. You would never think you can go any other place in the world and you won't die there, but you go to your hometown and you end up dying there. I just think that's just crazy within itself. And you can't even really, this is the hometown that you shout out to. This is where you're from. This is where you grew up. But I don't know the scenario, but it's usually someone that you know, which is crazy. You would think that support is going to come from them, the people that you're shouting out to, the stories that you're saying that in your raps, but those would be the first people that's going to get you down. Yeah. That's crazy. I saw it, but like I never really got into it. I didn't know that he was signed to Rich the Kid and all this other stuff. Yeah. Wow. I didn't even know that. Do you know any, besides the rappers that you know, right? Do you know any rappers that, I guess like, because I mean, we got rappers from North Carolina, right?
Yeah, we got a couple.
J. Cole, The Baby.
P.D. Pablo.
I didn't know that.
About him.
I didn't even know that, man.
North Carolina.
I didn't even know that. There's a battle rapper named T-Top that I've actually met at the mall. He was wearing some slippers, but I didn't know it was him. It was like during COVID, and like he was wearing his mask, so we was in the sneaker store. And he was like, "You in line?" I'm like, "No, I'm not in line." We was about to have a little argument about who's in line. And I'm like, "Wait, you T-Top?" He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay, shut up." I respect it. You know, appreciate it and keep moving. You know, so do you have top 5? Who's your top 5 artists of all time?
Of all time?
This is gonna
That's
be a
kind of
tricky
hard.
Artists or rappers?
Rappers.
Okay.
Rappers?
Isn't that the same? No?
No.
Artists and rappers not the same thing?
Well,
A rapper is an artist, you know, but an artist
no, of
isn't
course,
necessarily a rapper.
Okay.
Or, did I say that right?
Well, the way I frame it, because like rap is like a certain genre, but when we're thinking about artists, it's like multiple people, like R&B singers.
Okay. Rappers. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. So rappers, top 5 rappers. I mean, I gotta say Mac Miller. He's definitely up there for me.
Right.
I love Mac.
Good couple of songs. Rest in peace, but
yeah. Top 5, just like for me.
Yeah, for you
Personally.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, definitely Mac Miller.
Okay.
I gotta throw Logic in there. Big Sean, just cause like, you know, that's foundational.
Why you think him? I never would think it would be Big Sean, but
I don't know. Just growing up, I just loved his music. I just loved his flow.
He's chill. He's not bad. He's chill. I get that.
And I like how he could like speed it up and like also like slow it down. But he has like a million flows.
Right.
Is my thing, and like he could really hop on anything. I feel like so. Dang. It used to be Russ. Russ used to be up there, but he's kind of fallen off for me. Playboy Cardi used to be up there.
I shout out to Playboy Cardi. I like
that's my boy. Dang. I mean, I don't know. I probably have to throw J. Cole and then Playboy Cardi up there still.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about you, KJ?
I was thinking about this last night and then on the way here. So I'm gonna say Travis Scott, that's number 1. J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, Jay-Z, and then Hades, 66.
Hayes 66.
Yeah, he's a
That's
Puerto
tough.
Rican rapper.
Hey,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
tough.
Of course, Puerto Rican rapper. He loves some reggaeton.
Yeah.
He loves some reggaeton,
He's
boy.
hard.
He took me to a concert. It was with Roy, what?
Raul Alejandro.
Boy, I was like, what the fuck
It was
is
good.
this? I don't know.
Whoa, don't do that.
What do you mean?
The performance was amazing. Okay, because for his concert, what he does is he tells a story throughout the whole concert itself, and then all his songs are like lined up to, you know, the events leading up to it, like the climax, conclusion, and then like sometimes there's a theme behind it as well.
That's
like
different.
most artists don't do that. You know what I mean?
That's very different. Yeah, I would appreciate that.
Yeah.
But
I might not know what they're saying.
I didn't know who he was. Like, I'm like, who is this? I'm thinking you got Bad Bunny in there, you know.
You're gonna get so much
Bad Bunny is crazy.
He's so much better than Bad Bunny? I don't know.
You know.
Right.
He's good.
He's good.
Does he rap in English or just Spanish?
Who, Raul?
Yeah, or is it both?
He mainly just raps in Spanish.
Yeah.
But Hades, he's a rapper. He mainly speaks in Spanish.
Yeah. Do you understand the music?
Yeah, he studied.
I mean, some of the like
shit.
some of like the terminology, because of like colonialism. So the Puerto Rican phrases, I'm not like always familiar with it, but I can always use like context clues and what he's talking about.
Yeah. No, it's real.
Most of it is just like street rap, you know.
Yeah. They saying the same thing.
Yeah, it's just like the same thing. Like it's not different from like 21 Savage or freaking. I would say, who's another street rapper? Going blank.
Yeah, on that one.
Honcho.
Honcho, yeah.
Poncho? Who?
Honcho.
Honcho, yeah.
Honcho. Hot Boy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Bro's out the loop.
No, but
NBA.
Yeah. There we go.
my top 5, and this is hard because like this shit changes overnight, boy. I don't know.
Real talk.
I like grimy like New York, like GTA 4 type shit. Like I can't explain it, but I would say Drake, Kanye West, 50 Cent. He definitely fire to me. I'm gonna put Yeet in there. I fuck with Yeet heavy.
Tough.
Of course, cause then I got a fifth one. I would put. Shit, I would put Benny the Butcher in there.
Okay,
that's hard.
Okay. Yeah, I can do
Yeah, I
that.
fuck with Benny the Butcher.
I was waiting for one of those type artists to come
Right.
up. When you was like, you like that hard, like New York.
Because
type
like
sound.
if I have in a top 5, is like that's my top. That's when I've been listening to since I was young and up. But there's a lot of different. I think I just appreciate every artist in their own way. It's hard to have a top 5. It's hard to. I don't even know. Like every one of them is good in some sort of way.
So wait, why is Drake number 1 for you?
Because his old music was fire.
His old music.
Yeah, his old what?
Yeah. He do got crazy.
Will It Take
discography.
Forever? What are you talking about, son?
2016 Drake.
Take a shot for me? Come on, yo. What? It's fire. You get into your light skin realm heavy. Like, come on now. Do you think that what?
Yeah, the light skin thing. Do you feel like he resonates with you more because y'all are both light skinned?
I mean, like, there's a part. Thank you for the interview, by the way. There's a part of there's a resonation, but that's not my only one per se.
Okay.
Because like I think Kanye West definitely resonate with me more because like he's weird and that's okay. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like a lot of his his inspirations was from anime. You get what I mean? Like his clothing and stuff like that. His beats were all from different countries, and they were saying like he was the weird kid. You get what I mean? But he had a lot of talent, and he really had to show. And so in a lot of his music, he had one with Mos Def. I forgot what it was called. Drunken Hot Girls. That shit was fire. But he was talking about the night that we go in Glenny. You know what I mean? And Glenwood. You see what I'm saying? So I like that a lot more. But I think with a lot of those artists, there isn't a gang that they're claiming. Like I don't want to be like, oh yeah, you know what? I'm not part of it, so I don't even want to listen to it. Yeah. But all these people so far are more neutral, and I like it because I resonate with that more per se. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of other ones like Styles P is fire. I like Styles P. Which I just started listening to him. Joel Ortiz from Slaughterhouse.
Okay.
So those are definitely fire. Speaking of that, do you think hip hop is dying?
Oof, that's a heavy question. I mean, numbers wise, definitely.
Okay.
And I feel like there's just not as much. How do I put this? But there's not as much variety in mainstream.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like I cut on my Spotify, I'm listening, I'm like skip. Because like everything is starting to sound the same. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I mean, in that sense, I do think there's a decline. I don't think hip hop itself will ever be kind of like dying because I feel like it's so immersed in the culture. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, artistry, I think there could definitely be a lot more variety.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you think, AJ?
No, I agree with that because like I would say that hip hop, there's always going to be like that rooting element that we always would want to go to, but it's become so saturated to the point where it's like we understand like, or like it's almost predictable. Like we know what it's going to talk about. It's either like we getting girls, get money, try to be famous, like you hating, blah blah blah, and then like for on the women's side, it's just more about like shaking ass or getting money, tricking things out. But there's always that like lyrical aspect of it, like people bringing that extra flavor and new ideas, just like Kendrick or all those lyrical other people like Benny and Butcher. But most people, unless they're like a mainstream person like that, most people are not going to tune into it, which is unfortunate. But people want to like those main music industries will want to play something that like the people want to hear. Right,
it's instant gratification. Yeah. And what you're starting to realize now is that you can really see how it was before because all of it was real, right? All of it was real. The beef was real. Their life was real. There wasn't no snitching involved. I think like snitching really took the realness out of hip hop. There's a lot of like, what's his name? Boston Richie. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me right now? And then Gunna as well. I'm like, and people still listen to Gunna. I don't know why. I mean, do you listen to Gunna still?
I do listen to Gunna still. I'm not gonna lie.
But what I'm saying is that like he got good music. Don't get me wrong, but like, what's the like? Who are you behind the mic? Who are you behind the music that you're saying? Even 6ix9ine, you still told. You made the rainbow color the best color in New York. So it's like, what's going on?
I don't know. My thing with that too is just like, I'm not part of the situation.
Right,
you know what I
right.
mean? And that's kind of why I'm taking from it, because it's like, I definitely think there's two sides to it, especially with the Gunna situation. Like, I think there's more to it than like we really know, or like that's out in the public. I feel like there was something to where it's like Gunna's thinking was like, no, why would I throw my life away for this, like somebody else? You know what I mean? And like ruin what I got going on. Granted, Thug did put him on. You know what I mean? That's how we got Gunna. But it's just like, I'm not gonna say I would do the same, but I'm gonna look out for myself first.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, and I'm not saying like if you don't live that life, by all means. If you're a civilian, you claim that you are a civilian, no problem. But it's like but when you're rapping and you're saying all this in your music, like your name is Gunna. You're not named any like what's a Gunna? You see what I'm saying? Like and of course his music is great, but it's like, where's the realness on what you're saying? Like, you know, where is the things that you're talking about? You know, so you're not only talking about like killing somebody or doing whatever, but you're portraying that to people that are not even a part of that life. And I think hip hop is dying because it's always these saturated, all this other stuff, like I'm gonna kill, whatever you were saying.
Yeah.
But also, there's people that don't even do what they rap. You know, there's people that are like, dang, I want to do that. Bro, you put a hit out on a whole nother person and you're claiming that, like, that don't even make sense. So it's just that, like, what are you really rapping about? Like, Fat Joe said, like, there was an interview that he said, he was like, the point of me rapping was to get out, not to get back in. So I think a lot of people are following that thing of, I'm trying to be this person, but in reality, I'm not. And I think that's why hip hop is dying, is because people are just doing it for performance instead of them being them real selves. You see what I'm saying?
No, absolutely. There's like a huge disconnect. I see what you're saying with that.
Right.
Cause like, yeah, it's like, I mean, that's kind of why like I've been saying, at least like before, it's just like in the sense of like people join music and hip hop now just for the money. You know what I mean? That's pretty much what it is. And like, that's what we're hearing, you know, because that's why people are saying the same things. They're not really switching up the flow, or they'll hear a hard flow and be like, oh, dang, Lil Yachty made this? All right, let me try to do the same thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
And there's like no like spirit in it. It's just like, let me get a bag.
And not even that. If you're having that idea, tell where you got the idea from. Like Rick Ross. You are a whole nother. You know who Rick Ross, the original Rick Ross is?
Oh yeah, he was like a prison inmate.
No, he was a drug pin. He was literally a drug pin named Free Ray Rick. He was part of the CIA was funding his operation to bring that money to front the Contras during the war. Do you know?
Damn.
And
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So you literally copied his whole face, his beard and everything. Your name is not even Rick Ross, by the way. Your real name is not. And then, and mind you, the actual dude tried to do a lawsuit, and it didn't work out because I guess like they said, like, you know, if you have admiration or whatever, you know, you are allowed to show your admiration for this. You were a correctional officer, right? And then now you become this, which is fine, but like, shout out to the person you got that from. So there's a lot of saturation because there's no culture of like, okay, I got this from here. And that way is creating that disconnect. There's no purpose besides what that money is, if you agree with me. I don't know. I'm going on a little tangent, but when I heard hip hop is dying, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, that shit is crazy.
So you don't think it's dying, or?
No, I do.
Oh, okay.
I do. But I'm just saying, like, that's one of the ways that it's dying. It's just there's no originality, nor if you have an idea, where did you get that from, right? So that's just what I was thinking. I don't know. What do you guys think?
What are your thoughts on like different genres getting inspiration from hip hop, but it's also like contradicting because although like hip hop is dying, you have all these other genres who are getting inspiration from artists and hip hop as a whole, but here they are being super successful.
I think personally, it's what hip hop needs to do. Is like, to start expanding into like those other realms. Like at least something like personally with me when I make my music is like, granted it's nowhere where I want it to be, but what I think about is just like, how could I like potentially blend this sound with like this sound? You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of people aren't playing with that as much anymore, or at least like the mainstream artists. Yeah. Like the closest thing I feel like came to that recently was like Don Toliver's last album, where he actually, he has a very distinct sound now over the past like 2-3 years or 2-3 albums, where it's like kind of like that rock and roll, like hip hop, but like smooth, you know what I mean? And it's distinct. You're not really hearing any other like crazy sounds like that anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? Whereas like these other genres, they're like pulling little beats from here and there, and their music sounds crazy now. You know what I mean? Like Charlie XCX, her shit be going hard. Like, you know what I mean? And like they be bumping it, so it's...
that I do agree with. Like, I think as an artist, you need to, branch out of your comfort zone because, not only is you growing as an individual, so are your fans.
Right.
Like, they're not going to be the same people that, maybe rocked with you 10 years ago. They still might, but like, they might come back to you and just to reminisce of a nostalgic sense.
They got kids now.
Yeah, exactly. So now you got to grow and like, connect with them. Andre 3000 did that. Another one would be Big X the Plug. He's blending his music in with country. Same with Lil Durk. Like he's a trap dude, but here he is blending with Morgan Wallen.
It changed.
It
changed. Ever since that happened, I'm like, dang, he with Drake.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even Big Sean, he's like tapping into the Latin market too.
Yeah.
He did some songs with Eladio Carrion. J. Cole even did a song with some kind of K-pop artist.
Yeah, I saw that.
No, and that's good that they do that for like, because what I like about hip hop is like, don't you ever like look at like random rappers on Instagram, like just random ones, like it could be a bad song and still they put it out, and I just appreciate that because it's an art of expression, right? You're expressing how you feel about a certain particular thing, so it's great that a lot of rappers that we know here are going to different markets. Like, I didn't know Wale was going to Africa, Nigeria. Burna Boy's kind of fire. I was like, oh, shoot, okay.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of crazy how they, in that end, they're expanding, and that expansion is playing a big, playing a big role in that end. What are the 4 elements of hip hop?
I was looking at that question. I was like, what really is it? I think it kind of boils down to is like, obviously culture. I feel like lyricism, community, and the last one, I really don't know. I think that's kind of when it gets a little tricky because like hip hop is so large now. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? It embodies so much nowadays. But the last one, I feel like, I don't necessarily want to say like swag, but like there's a certain like kind of code, you know what I mean? Kind of like essence. Yeah, or maybe just like essence, you know what I mean? I feel like when you say the word hip hop, it has power behind it. You know what I mean? You get like a certain feeling, it's like, oh, okay, like that's cool. You know what I mean? But I think that would definitely be it, with the huge pillar being like rooted in culture.
Okay.
You know what's crazy? And I think it kind of, I don't know, it kind of created that point that there's no originality of where even hip hop comes from. Because a lot of people don't know that, of course, like, because the 4 elements, that was like more of like the actual 4 elements of hip hop that I learned in class.
Yeah.
Did you know what those were?
I did not.
Yeah.
What were they?
Go ahead.
Inform me.
Go ahead.
You got the MC, DJ,
Yeah.
graffiti, and then b-boy or breakdancing.
Yeah.
Those like the 4
Graffiti
elements.
is interesting.
Yeah. I feel like that applies more to like back in the day with the graffiti.
Yeah.
As the come up of hip hop and those elements came in. But I think it's interesting. You had like a nice little twist.
Right,
to it,
exactly,
culture
yeah.
and lyricism. Yeah.
I was like, dang, okay. I was like, because I thought you was gonna actually look up the actual 4 elements.
Yeah, no, I was just like, what makes sense?
But everything that you said really is kind of cool because like everything that you said was like, it actually was your own, like he said, your own twist of like what the actual 4 elements were. So that I think that's really cool. Just you as an artist, do you consider yourself as an artist?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, my bad,
Yeah,
my bad.
No, I appreciate that. I
My bad.
appreciate it.
Do you have any last things, KJ?
I guess I want to do a callback to like our, the last interview. So, you remember when I asked you about how T.I. kind of made a criticism about this lady having her attention divided?
Relatively.
Yeah. So basically, to sum it up, T.I. was saying how her attention was divided because she was tapping into so many markets to where like her attention for all these things are divided equally. But if she was to focus on one thing specific, she can be able to garner around of fame, money, and where she wants to go so that she can branch out into those different realms. Do you still feel like the same way of like what you said in the past to what you did now?
Yeah, I feel like it's been refined a little bit more, like since then. Yeah, so I really find myself only coming outside is like if I'm making money. You know what I mean? That's like if I'm shooting pictures or doing a music video or that's pretty much it. You know what I mean? And then I just do music on the side. Well, I don't want to say on the side, but like that's the 3 quadrants. You know what I mean? I feel like it's not as jumbled up as it was previously, but it's definitely still alive because like I'm working on a networking event coming up in the end of March.
Yeah.
Still got the festival going on in the summer, the back to school festival. So it's like things are still coming, but I feel like it's just more dialed in. I feel like that's just come from me being more disciplined.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Being able to like, maybe I shouldn't go out, or maybe I need to like put this out real quick so I can like focus. So I feel like that's where a lot of it has come from. It's more defined.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah,
That's
I see
good.
that too. Like, you're like I said, you're doing your thing, you're all over the place. I'm like, dang, this man is all over the place. One post here and there.
Right.
And I think that's really good that you're doing that for sure. I guess like for those who are trying to be more disciplined as you, right? What suggestions would you give back to them?
It's going to be hard, like that's for sure. Especially like I've been trying to quit nicotine for like the longest. And that's been the biggest thing, that's been hard for me. It's just like it's going to be hard, you know what I mean? But you can do it. And what it comes from is just like changing your habits. That's really what I had to figure out. Was like, I'm still gonna have these thoughts. You know what I mean? These thoughts, they're not going away. But there is something that I can do to, instead of, just feeding into these cravings or just giving in into what I want to do. But may not be the best for me. So I definitely say that. Just create different habits for yourself and just know that moment isn't going to last forever.
Yeah.
You can get through that moment.
Nice. And I got like one more question for like all you guys because I want to get your take on it. So I was as I was on the way here, I was like listening to his podcast, and the guy asked the guest like, what is the best piece of advice that you've gotten in your life? So he answered by saying, "You are what you think about." How do you interpret that?
You can go first.
You got it.
I think that it's all about positive manifestation. And I think that when you really believe, and I think one of the biggest things for me was praying 2 times a day. I would pray 1 in the morning, and it doesn't matter what time, as long as I'm praying 2 times a day, because I could be at work, I could be doing whatever. But really being, like, I guess, like, putting it in existence, right? And just creating that habit of, of just wishing these things and also doing better by kind of like doing those habits, not just praying, but doing good behind them. And I think that's been really good for me. Been doing really great in my job, nothing crazy. Money has been going great. My family's going good just because that's all I think about. All I think about is as long as I'm doing good and having those and just having good intentions behind it, everything else is going to come, right? So it's just as a result, I mean, meeting a lot more people, networking, and it's been going good. And these are things that I really wanted. And once I really said I really want this, you gotta be ready when when the opportunity comes.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. I feel like for me, it's kind of weird they brought this question up too, because I recently saw like on a video that resonated with me a lot. It was talking about the fact of what we say in America has almost like this binding control over us. Like in America, we say, "I am sad," or "I am angry," "I am happy," "I am depressed." In other countries, they phrase it in a way it's like a state of sadness is passing through me. You know what I mean? I'm feeling a sense of grief or something like that. And there's power in that. There's power in like linguistics and just to like how you talk, what you say becomes your reality. So I think absolutely, I think there's a lot of truth in that quote is, you are what you say. You will become what you say you are, essentially. And I think that's so true. And so it's like, if you continue to say every day, man, I'm a quitter. I can't do this, I don't know, I'm too tired, then you're not going to do anything because in your brain you've already lost the battle.
Exactly.
Like I think that's where it starts from, essentially, is just being able to say like, no, like I can do this, or I am capable of doing this, or I'm going to be XYZ. And then, you start to live that. The energy around you is real. So, yeah.
That's good. That's a good, that's a good little question.
I was like, I had to write that down. I'm going to say that in the podcast,
You got anything else to say before we finalize everything?
No, that's pretty much it. What about you?
No, man. I mean, it was a good podcast. Thank you for coming down.
Yeah,
I appreciate
definitely.
it.
Also, Love Rage EP coming out soon. JHicks, you feel me? Don't have a date yet, but coming soon. Be on the lookout. Yes.
Shout out to that.
Shout out to that.
Shout out to that. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for listening to QFM Podcast. Please subscribe and follow us on Instagram. Appreciate you.
We out here.
Yeah, appreciate y'all.